The new Legion returns to finish the job, and everyone is a target. Well, right now we know the Legion is essentially leaderless. Are they going to get a new leader? I mean, I thought for a while it could be... Alex, thank you for the 100 bits, man. Damn, so many bits this morning. Thank you, I appreciate that. We thought for a while that it could be Sire Denathrius taking over the Legion. I thought I saw hints about that, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Let's see what Mr. Doran has to say about the Legion and how it could be returning. Alex, thanks again.
The demonic army was never actually defeated. We just imprisoned Sargeras, broke the Burning Legion structure
like
that he himself had placed upon the demons, but the demons still remain in insane numbers. Even more importantly, the Legion itself was created by the Dreadlords that had manipulated Sargeras, and until a few years back, the Dreadlords were really the main brains behind the Burning Legion, aside from the
that lord's kind of been retconned.
Everyone is coming to Azeroth.
Maybe not retcon, but realize that that's not their true. They're not their true, what's it called? Their purpose. Dreadlords have a bigger purpose than just the Legion. So that's why they don't give a shit that stuff's moved on. But that is also why we thought Sire Denathrius might be their new leader. They're leaderless right now.
The light, the Titans, and as you may remember, the main Dreadlord guy, Denathrius, left us with a huge cliffhanger back
maybe it's gonna be.
He already has a life agent. He has a big agent in the light with a evil light invasion hints. But his main invasion force when he comes is going to be the demonic army he had nurtured for thousands of years. So the demons are coming, but this time without Sargeras, without the Burning Crusade, and with a new goal. If you guys want to buy Total War, Elder Scrolls, or any other game, you can get them at great prices with my Gamiibo link. You can also get warcraft-related gift cards and software.
Help the man pay his bills.
Market prices. Best of all, if you add my code DORON, you can get an even bigger discount. So make sure to check out my link in the description and get some amazing deals with Gamiibo. I don't know if you noticed, but it does seem like the World Soul Saga is picking up where the Legion left off, which actually makes total sense as this is when Chris Metzen left and when he returned. Of course, BFA, Shadowlands, Dragonflight lore is still super relevant. It's there, obviously a part of the next 3 expansions, but the main thing...
It's there, but they do kind of feel like sidetracks from the main story. The War Within definitely feels like a return to the main storyline, and that is the World Soul Saga. Feels like we've been talking about that story. We haven't known the name The World Soul Saga, but we've been in that since Legion. Like, Legion was the finishing of that, and then we diverted a little bit. BFA, obviously, it's part of it. You had all the wars and all that shit going on. But it felt like that was kind of diversion into Shadowlands, into this current expansion, now Dragonflight. But now we're coming back. Enough side shit. Now it's time to finish the real story, and that's what this expansion feels like.
Teams are here: Thrall, Anduin, Sword of Sargeras, Titans, and almost everyone that was involved pre-Legion and Legion. Most importantly, the 2 main guys, Sargeras and Illidan, are 100% going to be a big deal in the World Soul Saga, especially the last Titan. And you can
Mr. Pandaria had a lot of old god lore, so there was relevancy in there, definitely.
On this recently, as their storylines are so heavily intertwined with the Titan Pantheon and their confirmed return in the final expansion of the saga. However, most importantly, all of these storylines are also intertwined with the Burning Legion and the Demonic Army. We celebrated the defeat of the Legion and the imprisonment of Sargeras nearly a decade ago, and back then it was like the day was saved,
was it 10 years ago?
finally defeated a big bad, and everyone was thinking, WoW is on its last legs as there is no one else left to fight because this trans-dimensional demon army was like the devil of the Warcraft universe. However,
it was.
Now, this perspective kind of seems ridiculous from this point of the lore evolution, as it is so obvious that the Burning Legion and Sargeras were but a minor player in the entire grand scheme of things, and we really only stopped one part of the disorder from trying to break the mechanism and control the universe. But not only do we have 4 others, 5 if we count life, but we have this entire mechanism to deal with in the first place.
Right.
At this point in time, it seems highly likely that the entire Burning Crusade and the creation of the Burning Legion is much deeper than it seemed originally. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that they were the good guys, they weren't destroying the worlds, they were saving
they were not
them,
the good
but
guys.
there seems to be a lot more as to why Sargeras turned against the Titan Pantheon, and Sargeras might not have...
Sargeras is not good. I don't see Sargeras getting like any kind of real redemption arc or anything, but I do see maybe that, we find out we have a common enemy. Maybe, him and Illidan are chatting it up. Who knows if they come back to help us or something. But Sargeras is not a good guy, that's for sure. Whatever he did to Azeroth, supposedly he may have freed her soul partially, and that's why we're starting to hear the World Soul talk more. with his little stabby poke that he did. But whatever he's done is really in anger towards his siblings. He fucking hates them. He wants to ruin their plans, all that shit. And at the end of the day, the guy still ruthlessly destroyed planet after planet. Entire civilizations wiped away. So, I mean, he's not going to become a good guy, that's for sure. But maybe we find we have a common enemy. What's up, Gremmel? That could be it.
Been all that different with his demonic army when compared to the Titans. He was just more outright destructive. If you remember the lore, Sargeras was like the champion of the Titans, the strongest of them.
He was the strongest of them, yeah.
To deal with the worst problems out there. Demons come from the Disorder realm. They're the exact polar opposite of order, and at the same time, they were essentially the main pests the Titans had to deal with, at least until they had discovered that the Void is also a thing, and that it is also a much bigger threat. The demons, as far as we know, are naturally chaotic beings, and they were kind of wired this way by how weird the Twisted Nether is, and it is in their nature to just spread chaos. They're super dangerous, but they lack any sort of hierarchy that is like the bread and the butter of the Titans, and that is exactly why they were such easy pickings for the Titans. I mean, Sargeras dealt with these guys all the time. Eventually, he even created a whole prison world in order to keep them there. Now, here's the thing. Why
their souls so quickly.
That the Void is a much bigger problem? I mean, the Void is also in.
You gotta remember, Sargeras, too, he tried to, like, tell his siblings about the Void. He found out about the Void before them. And when he realized this chaos existed, he was like, oh, damn, I gotta destroy this shit. With the way the Void works in these they're infecting planets. I gotta destroy all these planets so they can't be infected. That was how he decided. He basically pulled an Arthas before Arthas ever did, and he just purged shit. He's like, we gotta purge everything. That's it, everything has to be purged. And his siblings weren't about it, so he just purged them too. That's how it worked. But remember, this whole idea of the Void and the way he kind of realized what it was the Dreadlords. The Dreadlords showed up and kind of, gave him some whispers of what the Void really is and what's going on. And that drove him to madness, basically. That's what sent him off the cliff and started the whole Burning Crusade.
Chaotic, but it is a lot more intelligent, it is organized, it is manipulative, it can cause a lot more and a lot bigger damage. The thing about demons, I mean, originally they were just so chaotic that they could never organize into more than a bandit group because they battled each other.
Right, they fought each other all the time.
That is why when Sargeras realized how dangerous the Void is, he realized he could mobilize these demons, but he would obviously need the brains, the organization, the hierarchy, a structure in order to actually make anything with this army. Now this here is where it gets really interesting. We learned from the Shadowlands that the Dreadlords are not demons whatsoever, and they played a critical part in this creation process. They were the ones that kind of led Sargeras to think this way, and they were the brains behind the creation of the entire Burning Legion and the entire Burning Crusade. We learned from the book that Denathrius sent agent to all the forces, even life, but the Titans were the easiest to corrupt out of all of them. So this here is the entire topic of this video and why the Legion is not done yet. Remember, we defeated Sargeras, we imprisoned him, indirectly helping the Titans, and indirectly helping Denathrius as well. We broke the Burning Legion structures, we shattered their armies. While we did kill some demons, obviously, in these battles, they're still out there in huge, gigantic numbers. However, with this, we have two critical points that a lot of people are missing.
Yeah.
While demons were...
I think some people also think that because we destroyed Argus that demons don't regenerate anymore. That's not true. The Argus was not the place where they regenerated. That's the Twisting Nether. But what Sargeras did with Argus and the World Soul was he basically anchored the Twisting Nether into our dimension. So that way their regeneration process happened like 1,000 times more, faster. So that shit was much quicker. And that's what Argus allowed them to do. But still, even without Argus existing today, when you kill a demon, their soul still goes back to the Twisting Nether, they reform and come back. It just takes them way longer to reform now, right? Because they don't have that anchor anymore. And the only way to truly kill a demon is to go into the Twisting Nether and you kill them there. That's how you end them forever. So the Burning Legion still exists, and it's probably still exists in much of the same numbers that it did back in the day. So we do, the only ones that we saw go to the Twisting Nether and actually kill them were, we had the Demon Hunter cinematic where they went in there and actually killed one of the overlords or whatever. But that shit did happen. But otherwise, no. They're still regenerating.
Originally
So it's
super
still a big, powerful
unorganized and
force
not that
to be used.
intelligent, they spent tens of thousands of years under
that's
the
what
Legion
Spawn Time just
structure,
said,
under
yeah.
intelligent guiding, using advanced technology such as trans-dimensional spaceships. They use complex architecture, they learn to follow orders. A really good analogy to this would be like how we might have been hunter-gatherers like tens of thousands of years ago, but just because the Roman Empire shattered doesn't mean the former Roman citizens just returned to hunting and gathering. Therefore, we still got all the structures around, all the progress. They just don't have Sargeras, Kil'jaeden, and Archimonde to
Just don't
lead
have a
them
leader,
in
yeah.
the Burning Crusade. Second, and even more important, is that the Dreadlords are now at the peak of their power. We have seen them in the Shadowlands when they freed
right.
Denathrius. They apparently got a life agent we are yet to discover. They got a light agent, Lothraxion, and
damn
Denathrius
Lothraxion.
was shown at the end of Shadowlands, obviously hinting that he's going to be doing something big. Outside of the Eredar, most of the Legion was actually led by Dreadlords. Dreadlords were like the top of the food chain since forever with the demons,
that's right,
and they
DK.
were also behind the original creation. Most importantly, it seems like the Denathrius team planned the destruction of the Legion from within, which is why they had wired Argus to destroy the death mechanism so that Denathrius could obviously break free. Do you think Denathrius is not going to mobilize this entire structure he nurtured for thousands of years to his favor and to just recreate this exact same army? Let's look at how all this is relevant and how a new Legion is going to be coming. So, as you're almost certainly aware by this point, and I've mentioned this a million times, every cosmological force is after Azeroth, and a big showdown is happening in this entire saga. We recently had Death coming through the Jailer, we have the Void, the Light coming in Midnight, the Titans in Order coming in the Last Titan. The
Right.
Jailer, that one was kind of just Zoval's foolish plan that really led nowhere, but the real Death cosmological
Zoval's foolish plan, or was he duped? Was he kind of dominated into it by a more sinister being? Yeah.
force is definitely going to be
If you know,
coming
you know.
through Denathrius. He has been pushing the Death Realm for a really long time. Recently, we had a ton of hints that we are getting the Evil Light and very likely a Light Invasion, the Fanatical Light Invasion. Guess who is one of the key figures? Lothraxion, a super well-integrated agent Denathrius is going to use. Think of it this way, Death is going to invade as well now that everyone is coming to Azeroth. First, the Dreadlords are definitely going to infiltrate just to set the ground. They could use the life agent they have to strike a blow, but all this is obviously going to be just early preparations. Then, he's going to use his light connections to really soften the ground on Azeroth. Think of it how the Legion used the Lich King and the Scourge to soften the ground for their own invasion. So,
I mean, if the light is corrupt, if we realize that some of the way the light is being used is currently kind of corrupt, I mean, he's got light agents already in some of the most powerful positions in the world, right? We know Kalia Menethil is, freaking undead from the light. She's sitting as one of the most powerful people with the undead and everything. And then, of course, you have Tyrion, right? Who's sitting there on the throne in Stormwind right now. He's also very light-bound. You got the entire Scarlet's Crusade still. They're doing their thing, even though they kind of been ruined in terms of lore. But they are who they are. You got a lot of people who follow the light. Prophet Velen even follows the light. So if you're using the light or you find a way to infiltrate it, that'd be pretty wild. Now, one person who used to be part of the light and isn't anymore, Anduin, right? But maybe Anduin realizes what the true light is. The whole Hallowfall zone and everything, that's what it's about. It's about exploring the truth behind the light. The flaming light, the true light. And that's what I think Anduin's going to discover. That's going to be his rebirth into the light, but a different kind of light. And then you're going to have a battle between the two forces.
he's going to be
the light's going to play a
wild
major
card
role
next.
going
He
forward,
might
that's
even
for sure.
play on the remnants of the Scourge, as all of this is happening in Northrend, and this is his
My
own
name is
natural
SAM
power.
and I
Death,
like lore
however,
videos. I have a secret fetish for furries.
Okay.
You can catch me at Goldshire Inn, on Moonguard. Come and attend our weekly YIF.
It's not
his
true.
main force and the main card is going to be his extensive
true.
connections with the demonic army and with the former Burning Legion. Dreadlords, he essentially created the Legion. They still got most of their agents in the Fell Disorder force. They're going to bring this force back, but not the Burning Crusade, not Sargeras and all. A Dreadlord-led demonic army that is going to learn from all the mistakes and come with a new goal. Now, another kind of contradicting possibility is that the demons themselves might get empowered like independently. Remember, despite the non-demonic
I don't know
races
about
ruling
that.
them like the Eredar and the Denathrius, they may have evolved intelligence over the years, and they might realize that the Dreadlords are trying to use them. Think of it this way: the demons had really been the victims this entire time, both in the Dreadlords, Death Schemes,
Yeah.
and in Sargeras'.
They've definitely been used for their ability to regenerate, right? Like a never-ending army is pretty powerful. So they've been, and I think the Dreadlords realized that they could be used in that way, and the Void did maybe. So that's why they're doing it. But I don't know if they can. They have like pit lords and stuff, right? Like they have a somewhat of a hierarchical structure, but I don't know if they necessarily have a leadership structure that's kind of built in like that.
Insane crusade, so they might get one of their own, like actual demons to lead them. They might overthrow the Dreadlords, and they might actually attack us, but with their own management, and this could
Playable
be something
demons.
that would be entirely unpredictable. However, honestly, I do feel like the Denathrius scenario is more likely because
Yeah, I think
while
so
they may
too.
be more intelligent, keep in mind that the Dreadlords had outmaneuvered the much more intelligent beings like Sargeras himself and Archimonde and killed Jaden, so not sure some intelligent demon is going to see through their plans, but this either way could turn out to be super interesting. Thank you for watching. Check out the upcoming zones we're going to get in the World Soul Saga by clicking on the screen, and check out my video on ancient Greek colonies in Spain by clicking on the screen as well. See you next time.
Yeah, that's a great video. Great video. You said that's such a mindfuck. How long is Turellian going to be alive? Wasn't the Army of the Light fighting the Legion in the Twisting Nether for 10,000 years? With him on board, canonically? Yes, that's true. Yeah, no, Turellian's not a normal human. The Light has changed him in a way where he is able to basically live for a very long time. He's been blessed by the Light, and we still don't know really how that works yet. Right? Like, what is Turellian exactly? We're not totally sure, but he's definitely, yes, he has lived for a very long time. He's seen a lot of shit. And it's because the Light essentially like infused within him. He's gotten some type of blessing from the Light that basically changed him down to his very DNA. And that's why he's lived so long. At some point he's going to take control by force or by choice. We did have the whole little line, right? Where they found Anduin, and it was Matthias Shaw talking, and they were saying, should we tell Turellian? And they said no. Let's just keep it a secret for now. They didn't want to tell him. So it's an interesting... Turellian's an interesting character, and his whole love with the Light is going to definitely lead into some of this shit that we just talked about here.